Right, I'm going to make this very quick because this video really is just for evidence purposes, I'm just about trying to recover from everything that's just been happening in this house. My body, I'm just literally trying to recover. Now, this, as you can tell from the title of the video, as I'm making this, I haven't decided what the exact title will be. Now this landlady, I'm going to keep this text message if I can because my thing is full. She's, I'm going to keep the text message where she said I broke the washing machine by running it empty because that's a breach of my rights under the Equality Act, Section 27 of the Equality Act. So the text message where she's saying that I broke the washing machine when I ran it empty, by giving it a deep clean, and I sent her emails with online evidence that supports why you should run your washing machine empty to prolong its life, like with Dr. Beckham washing machine cleaner. Anyway, I've had an appointment with, I'm not even getting any sleep or daylight. Well, I'm trying to. I've had an appointment today, a phone appointment, to get a discretionary housing payment. And even my floating support worker was close to screaming at one point because she'd typed in the information and then lost it. The council have put me in this position. So these Fruit Loops here I've just added to my story. Do you know what? As a police auditor said, just let them speak, and they'll put themselves in the firing line. These narcissists. This landlady, while I was on the phone to the support worker, trying to get her rent money, despite the fact that I've been a victim of crime in this house. I've been a victim of discrimination, my rights infringed, and literally while I was on the phone to the floating support worker, and it's difficult for Charlotte because she gets a migraine from looking at a computer screen for too long, and I'm relying on her for her help. And this vile landlady had said, as you will see, it's all on my YouTube for evidence, she's saying, keep your rent money, I don't need it. And yet, despite what I've suffered in this house, I'm still trying to get her rent money. And the old man that she said was a gentleman, as I text her and she didn't respond, I said, he told me to hang myself with rope the other day. He walked out of this house and he told me where the rope was to hang myself. And I replied to Victoria, I said, I actually told Charlotte, the support worker, in tears, that I was going to look for that rope. Yes, what a gentleman, what a real gentleman, a 79-year-old man who said he's lost a daughter, and an 85-year-old landlady who told me she lost a niece to suicide, and she's a retired matron. Lovely people. Yeah, so she's got her solicitor, I need mine. She knows about my YouTube. So while I was on the phone to the support worker, trying to get her this discretionary housing payment, and I've also got an appointment at the job centre for universal credit, because this is something that they were meant to do at the council, and Brighton Housing Trust opened and closed my case. That lovely Brighton Housing Trust that was protecting a criminal that was mentioned in the national news as mugging the elderly, Sherelle Clark. Yeah, because they protect criminals, and it was mentioned in the BBC News. Mother and daughter jailed for 5 years for mugging the elderly, and look them up, and they did this exactly the same thing 2 years earlier on the Isle of Wight. Lovely people, yeah. And the council said she's got to stay there. She's got to stay there even though she attacked me, she assaulted me in front of CCTV, and she was off her head on drugs. But this landlady doesn't care that she's got a school teacher as a tenant. Who may be under the influence of cannabis, who ignored a police caution and went on to assault me. And prior to that, she went on to attack me and my partner. And I told this tenant what had happened to me, and they're absolutely vile, these two. And the school teacher tenant assaulted me when she was coming out of this lovely old man's room. This old man that told me to hang myself. This old man that had told me I was a lovely lady and kissed my hand. This old man who said he enjoyed winding up the maintenance man who went on to have a mental breakdown. And then this lovely landlady blamed the maintenance man's mental breakdown on me. Yes, this lovely old man that said he hated that very tenant that assaulted me when she came out of his room. And then he told me where the rope was to hang myself. Yes, such a gentleman, Victoria, such a gentleman. And does that make you a lady? Telling me to shut up at the age of 85. How many years were you a matron for? I was bullied by a matron. I was bullied by a matron very badly when I did care work. I worked hard. Made me physically sick. Anyway, sorry. This is for I've gone off on a slight tangent there. This is about a text message that the landlady sent me at 3:07 p.m. on the 1st of May. Today, Wednesday, the 1st of May, she sent me a text message a few hours ago, and it's very important that I keep this text message. So she sent me this text message today at 3:07 p.m. It states, "I believe that you have the key to the back door. Please replace it immediately. Thanks." So this was while I was on the phone to the support worker trying to get Victoria her rent money. And I read it while I was on the phone, and I was, as you can imagine, fuming, angry. I said, this landlady has ignored voice messages from me. I've left several voice messages for her. It's all on YouTube. She'd ignored them in conversation prior to that because I told her about Dion's criminal behaviour, harassing me and my partner, bearing in mind that this landlady had already committed crimes against me by attempting to illegally evict me, which is up to 2 years in prison plus fines. And she'd also assaulted me exactly 1 week later, and I've got evidence of her admitting in a phone conversation on YouTube where she's threatened to switch off the heating that she fixed. Yes, and also contradicting herself, saying that she wouldn't evict Dion for a breach of tenancy, but she would evict me. No, she's contradicting herself in a separate phone conversation where she's saying, I wouldn't evict Dion for a breach of tenancy and I wouldn't evict you. And then she goes on to say, but I am evicting you for a breach of contract because you have not paid rent. But she's also put on these court papers, she has said, I am disruptive. I've got evidence against the police and the landlady, and it's all on YouTube. And the police say their system is more reliable than my YouTube. No, because PC Right EB411 had cautioned Dion and me for some reason. Dion ignored that caution, the school teacher tenant, and she went on to verbally harass and attack me and my partner completely unprovoked when we were sitting in the lounge having a cup of tea. Foul language, slander, verbal abuse, utterly demented. I believe she's under the influence of cannabis. So it's interesting that that police officer that's been reported to the IOPC, I reported him to the IOPC because I don't even smoke. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't take drugs, but I reported this school teacher. Why is she being protected? And then she went on to physically assault me. And the two police officers that turned up, Daniel and Stephen, said, and it's on YouTube, they said several times, they both said to me, the landlady has the key to the patio. And I also recorded and filmed Terry. No wonder he's angry that I filmed him, because I filmed him complaining about the same issues regarding Dion's antisocial behaviour, faulty appliances, etc. And Terry saying it must be, quote, seek, downstairs what done it, as in stealing the key to the back door. Now, it's only me and Terry in the house right now, so I'm guessing it's Terry that got... Now, he told me, as one of his many lies, that he no longer has contact with Victoria because he doesn't like the woman. So, Terry, who told me where the rope was to hang myself. And by the way, he does still use the bathroom, but if I can't finish that sentence because it would sound offensive, even though it's offensive to me. But I know he's still using that bathroom. You said I'm a dirty old man, and I apologise to him for that. So these are all part of the contract, keeping the property clean and all of that. I've also reported Dion in a text message to the landlady saying there are fruit flies downstairs. It's disgusting. I've just done my washing up. I don't have a problem. I sometimes leave my washing up, but there are fruit flies everywhere. And there's nowhere for the fruit flies to go because I let this landlady know that the key to the window in the kitchen has been stolen. I've reported all of this to the police. It's all on my YouTube channel. So isn't it interesting that the landlady's son told they know about my YouTube channel because the landlady's son said to me when she flew over here on the 11th of March to give me that Form 3 with all its lives. Well, it was the Milestone Group who told them that I had a YouTube channel. Now, I never told anyone I had a YouTube channel. and I use it to document everything in my personal life. It's nobody's business unless I let them know that I have a YouTube channel. If they know from word of mouth that I have a YouTube channel, then they need to get a life. But either way, I'm already documenting what's going on in my personal life for legal reasons. But I'd moved into a house that already had trouble, bullying, and a lot of issues going on, which is why the maintenance man allegedly had a mental breakdown and left, because he was under Victoria's thumb and being played off by these two demented troublemakers. And I've caught them all out, all of them, all three of them, as pathological liars. They cannot stop lying. But this landlady has just put her foot in it. She's not very clever, is she, for an 85-year-old woman who's had years of experience as being a matron, from what she told me. Again, I have no evidence to back up the claims that they are making, in the same way that I can't prove. At the moment, I don't know if it's true that Dion is an art school teacher for Terry's grandchildren. All I know is what I'm reporting, and today the landlady has sent me a text saying, "I believe that you have the key to the back door. Please replace it immediately." How can I have a key to the back door? Well, I do have it. Yes, I do. But, yes, no, I do. I'll show you. I have it. I went outside. Here it is. And it felt so nice to go outside and eat my dinner and get some. I actually sat outside and I ate my dinner to have some fresh air. Here's the key to the kitchen back door. It's on YouTube that as with all my conversations, all my reports to the police and the landlady, etc., I reported that I found the key because Terry told me, because they're playing games with each other, he told me to look on the windowsill. They're very, very dangerous people that need really to be in a supported accommodation where all of them can be monitored, because they're all completely demented. And they're playing dangerous games with someone who's already had a lot of trauma, which the landlady was already somewhat aware of when I moved in here. She knew that I've lost a father and I still don't know how he died, because the council, because I'm a victim of their corruption and homelessness. So, basically, this text message that she has sent me, she's putting her foot in it. Because she's, as you will see in the previous videos, prior to this video that I'm uploading, you will see that I have left several voice messages, to which none of which she responded to, where I've reported the theft of the key. The police said that she had the key, but she couldn't because she lives in Malta. Now, as I said in the voice messages, this key, and I expect she's getting a solicitor to look at my videos, and I really could not care less. I need a lawyer very, very badly. I said it to the police call handler, and you will see in my conversation with the police call handler on YouTube, I will not be replacing this key until I get the key cut. But I'm currently in recovery from being assaulted, physically and mentally assaulted several times by a school teacher tenant who may be under the influence of drugs. And I text my response to Victoria was, so, words to the effect, because I haven't been able to keep the text messages because of the capacity. I said, as tenants, we pay rent for access to the patio. And she put in capitals, rent. And I tell you what, I'm holding back my anger. I responded to her, I said, Charlotte and I have been, when she sent me that text message, I was on the phone to Charlotte earlier. I said, Charlotte and I are trying to get you your rent money. Charlotte has spoken to Victoria. The support worker has spoken to Victoria. And I have got a phone conversation where Victoria is actually saying to me, and you can hear on you, it's all on YouTube. She's saying, don't worry about the rent money, Bryony. I'm more concerned about you. Yes, of course you are, Victoria. But your tenants, so you already knew that the key had been taken. Because the police, as you will see on YouTube, the police said several times, they said the landlady's got the key. And I said, but she can't because she lives in Malta. So, who was it, Victoria? Was it Terry or Dion who took the key? Because there is still a key missing that's been stolen from the kitchen window, and you've got fruit flies flying around the kitchen. But you don't even care that you have got a school teacher tenant from Ratton School who may be under the influence of cannabis, who's clearly on YouTube verbally attacking me and my partner, calling my partner a cunt, the foulest, most vile, most offensive language that you could possibly use. And I got her to confirm it. And I said, you've just breached your contract again. But she went on to commit a further crime by assaulting me when I filmed her coming out of Terry's room. And as I said to the police, and as I've said to you in a text message, I'm not putting the key back until I get it cut. Because one of these lunatics will only steal the key again. And you've still got a key to the window in the kitchen that's been stolen. Because Dion assaulted me when I said keep this window open, please, because your cooking comes up through the floor. And these two are playing games, and you're playing games with me. And the second text message. So I go on to say, maybe Victoria, you would like to tell me why you are asking me to immediately replace the back door key when police kept saying you have it. The police, and her response to me was at 6:06 p.m. So that's just over an hour ago. The police have been in touch and say they have warned you all to steer clear of each other to try to keep the peace. That's when I responded to her again in text saying, because she's not responding because she knows I'm telling the truth. I said, I've got evidence against the police. I've got evidence of Dion ignoring a police caution by PC Right EB411 in my room here, warning Dion and for some reason me as well. And she goes on to attack me and my partner, possibly under the influence of drugs. And then she goes on to further assault me. This is probably why, well, it is why Victoria has said to me several times, sue me. And there we are. It's taken nearly 25 minutes to say something I could have said in just about 3 minutes, but I had to get it all out there. So there we are. That's it. I'll put a title and I'll put a description afterwards. wait till this comes to 25. There we go.